Well, we're standing out here in Strathmore, and not very often does a parcel of land come up that offers what this parcel of land offers. The sky is the limit on what could be done here. And just so you know, this land was annexed by the town of Strathmore, so it's just prime real estate to be able to develop on. Now, I'm standing here with Michelle Ouellette, who is a planner. And this land, for it to be everything that it could be, you need someone like Michelle to help you be able to get there, to be able to develop it. Michelle, what do we need to do here?
Well, given that this land is within the boundaries of the Strathmore Municipal Development Plan, it has a future designation for residential, neighborhood commercial, and institutional. So what that means is that someone willing to go through the effort, emotional stress, and undertaking of transforming this land into a vision of a community, a complete community, which would include a variety of residential use, a neighborhood commercial development, and I think we understand potentially a church. And so it has excellent access on the corner here, right across from the rodeo grounds. Highway goes to the north, and main road east-west along the northern limits of what is now developed as Strathmore. So because this land is included in the Municipal Development Plan, at Arcadis, as a land use planner, I work with engineers and scientists who would do technical studies that are required to inform a development concept. That development concept is vetted, with our client in the future owner of this property. What's their vision? So the development concept aligns with their vision, but also sort of what the technical study tells us about what the land will sustain down in the future. There's some wetlands in the north part, maybe a small wetland that needs to be studied, delineated. We have engineers that will do a grading plan so that we know where the surface water will go. Could we sustain an environmental feature like the wetland by engineering it into a stormwater management facility, for example? Our engineers look at where existing sanitary and water services are and what it will take to extend those services into the new residential community. And through those studies, it culminates with the development concept into what's called an area structure plan, which is the next level of statutory approvals that would be needed for moving into land use designation, subdivision, going through a servicing agreement with the town, and executing on this vision and the plan. So it does take some time. Folks that are in the world of development understand it does take some time, not only to prepare the plan and the area structure plan, but also negotiating and talking through technical aspects with the town of Strathmore to ensure that it complies with their regulatory requirements and what the community expectation is for the land.
So if I'm a developer, could I be creative on what I want to do here when I do my area structure plan?
Oh, absolutely, you can be creative. And I think it's required in today's marketplace when it comes to development of housing to be creative, find innovative solutions to our affordability challenges. What's the market we're trying to develop for? Estate homes, it could be entry-level housing. So within that quarter section, you could do multifamily units, row housing, single detached. So all of those housing forms are allowed across we call it housing typology, that then services different markets and affordability levels, really.
You know what, I love that, because there's been a lot of talk on, affordable housing in Alberta, and I love the fact that this land would offer that kind of creativity. So you could, as you said, have entry level all the way up to some estate homes. And really for the scale and where this is located and what this land offers, it might sound like a cliche, but I think the sky's the limit here.
Well, it is, Rob. And I think being, 50 minutes, 100 or 60 kilometers, 50 minutes, however you want to cut it from Calgary. It's definitely a commuter's community when it comes to going to and fro to the city. A lot of people are moving into the Rocky View and Strathmore County regions, Wheatland County, to have a more affordable option for housing, as well as wide open spaces, access to nature and things like that, living outside the city. The other components that we weave into a development concept for a community like this are parks and open space, whether it's play field or interconnected networks of ecological spaces, like I touched on the wetland potential being part of that amenity offering when it comes to green space within the community.
Well, and a lot of times when I've worked with developers in the past, and one of the questions I get is, well, what is the market, for selling these properties in the future? If we did this big development and created this beautiful area structure plan, is there a demand, for people that want to be able to make that commute out to Strathmore? And believe me, Michelle just touched on it. The answer is yes. In fact, you'll be happy to hear this because I've got the stats to prove it. Since 2024, we actually peaked, if you're talking about markets, recently, we peaked in June of 2024 overall, if you look at the Calgary and surrounding areas. And we noticed that as of July of 24, prices started to soften a little. Now, it's not like the bottom has come out of the bucket, but we have seen some softening for sure, except, Michelle, in Strathmore. Strathmore has actually, in the last 12 months, has even slightly increased overall in their pricing. So it just shows the demand. And I think what it is, first of all, it is a really nice community and people do love it out there. The commute is quite easy to get to, but it is affordable. What you can buy in Strathmore, the kind of home you can get for the money you can't get coming into the city. And I don't think that's going to change. So if you're a developer and you're concerned about that, have no concern. This will be a great project. The demand will be there. Strathmore is on the map and people are aware of it, and the demand of moving out there is going to continue.
That's excellent. So Rob, have you ever worked with a professional land use planner on any of your projects in the past?
I have never worked this closely on a project like this with a land use planner, but knowing and understanding now what this will entail to get to the finish line, it would be very difficult to not work with someone like you to get that done. There is a lot of moving parts, obviously, to make this happen. And one of the things that I've noticed in the past, if I ever were to sell a piece of property on what it could be, it was always difficult for buyers to have that vision and they couldn't really see the path. It seemed kind of overwhelming. Now you touched on it, Michelle. Will this take a little time for this to happen?
It will.
Yeah.
And it happens in stages. It's sort of incrementalism in action. Through an area structure plan approval, we could maybe advance the land use bylaw amendments together to council. And then from that land use approval, we get into subdivision design. And the subdivision design accounts for things like staging, what areas of the land base are economical and orderly to bring on stream in stages. That's how that's done. So it also allows for incrementalism when it comes to dedicating land for off-site improvements, construction of off-site improvements, paying different levies and fees. The staged approach now starts to generate a cash flow and expense model for the developer. And obviously, folks interested in buying this land are likely in the development industry or budding, emerging developers. And I think as I contemplated working with you on this, I thought about how am I positioned in terms of being retained by the client, your client, the seller, but also providing neutral advice to a potential buyer. And I think as a professional land use planner, my code of ethics is in the betterment of the public interest at large. And so, I'd love to be part of those conversations with you. And that's why I've joined you in this project for sales pursuit, is just to provide good quality information to a potential buyer so that they can make an informed decision. I'm not anchored in any specific vision for the landscape or development of this land. It's really just what's the highest and best use, we say, in the industry.
Highest and best use, yes.
And we also talk about what's in the best interest of the public, and that's where the approving authorities will want land when they're looking at concepts and development plans anyway. So I'm a very neutral player, I guess, in this transaction.
It's good that you said that. So here's the important thing to understand if you are someone that would consider making an offer on this type of a property and develop it. I think you'll find that we've got the path forward working with Michelle, and we'll be able to lay that out for you and be able to go through the entire approval process. Like I said, there's a little bit of a journey to get there, but working with Michelle and her team, it will be a fairly easy path, I'll call it, but it will take a little bit of time. So if you have questions to understand, what this all would entail and what it would look like, all you have to do is reach out to myself or Dan, and we'll be happy to get on a call with you or meet with you in person. And Michelle will also be willing to join with us.
Absolutely, Rob.
Yep.